Hi. Says we're live. Let me make an assessment. Well, I'll believe it. I'll just believe it. Oh, it's true. It's true. Oh, it's true. All right. Yeah, you know what? Let's start. We're close enough to 3:15. Whatever. Who's gonna yell at me?
Who cares?
Me? Who cares? Whatever. Who cares? Mom Brain, are you ready?
Give me 1 sec.
Sure, I'll give you 1 second. You got it, Ben. Mom Brain?
Just give me a second. Okay.
Oh, okay. All right. 3, 2, 1. Go Nintendo Podcast, Webisode 628, the Braviary Podcast. It's got to be Braviary, right?
I
Uh-huh.
had peanut butter, sorry.
I don't like that name.
Braviary?
Well, it's a bird.
It sounds like a place.
So
Get
like
it?
aviary,
Oh, okay. Well,
avian.
really
Braviary is
running
a
out of
large
ideas, aren't
avian
We are.
Pokemon
Yeah, we are at Pokemon 628.
with dark red feathers on its back and dark blue feathers on its underside.
I know.
Its tail feathers are red, turning to yellow, and then blue at the tips. Braviary's legs are long and thick. Oh, he's thick.
with two C's.
That's right, with yellow feet that each have a digit facing backward and 3 facing forward. Each digit is tipped by a short, thick black claw.
The name Kian Clown says Braviary is my favorite normal flying type Pokemon.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Braviary has a
Oh.
long, thick beak with a blue
Girl, you got a long, thick beak.
sear.
He's thick all over.
C-E-R-E. I don't know bird parts. On either side of his,
If only If only John Savage was here.
he's a chemist, not a biologist.
You said bird parts.
Oh, right.
Yeah, his mom he was raised as a bird.
Which are black with small white pupils sprouting from above the
His
eyes.
mother vomited into his mouth to feed him.
Eat your breakfast.
Are
Eat your breakfast, John.
large white feathers. At the base of the feathers is a red 3-pointed design that is spread across all 3 feathers. On each side of Braviary's face, sprouting out from behind the feathers on its forehead, are an additional 3 white feathers pointing horizontally and downward. Behind the 3 feathers on its head is a large plume of white feathers extending most of the way down its neck. These features combined resemble a Native American war bonnet. Braviary is extremely aggressive, but for noble
I am
reasons.
part Native American. I know about
You're
Braviary.
not really.
Like 1/48th Native American or something.
They're not even sure.
Oh, I'm sure.
The tests were inconclusive.
That's right.
I saw it, my spirit animal told me.
It will fight fiercely to help and protect its friends.
What is your spirit animal?
Even if injured, it will still fight.
Why, it's this bear right here. The Christmas bear.
The more scars it has, the more respect it gets from its peers. It has earned the nickname Soldier of the Sky due to its extreme dedication for its friends, aiding its valiance. Braviary is extremely strong, capable of lifting a car
Did
and
you say
flying with
eating
it.
its valiance?
That's what I heard.
Aiding its valiance.
Oh, I heard eating its valiance.
Eating its valiance.
Value. Braviary is number 628. It's a normal flying type. Its abilities include Keen Eye or Sheer Force. Its hidden ability is Defiant. They are 100% male. Go figure on how that reproduces. They're 4 feet 11 inches tall, 90 pounds.
Beak. Too big.
There you go.
Oh, look. Davide Soliani just liked a tweet. My best friend on Twitter ever.
My hands smell like bleach.
He likes like every tweet, and every time I see that, it makes me feel a little bit greater. SD Sick Hero, I gotta say, you're on fire with your comments lately. You are really blowing me away.
What do you say?
He said cowboy is a Native American. This doesn't make sense. All right, let me say my hellos. Hello, Roth and SD Sick Hero and Guy Bones and Rocket and Swedish Galaxy 94 and Bacon Bits. And Bacon Bits, I want you to record you saying that so I can play it at the beginning of every podcast. Hello, Ice and Dew, who had to leave but might still be here. Dew is going to see the movie Baby Driver, which I've heard lots of good things about.
Yeah, we were just talking about it last week.
And hello on the other side to Cowboy and Nader Die and the Aloe Wolf and the Name King Clown and Joshua and Battle One and Turquoise and Roth and the Super Sanchez and Cameron and Electro Bodyboarder and Ben and It's a Trap and Hot Dog Pillow. There's some great names in there. All right, and whoever else I didn't say, Robert, and whoever else I didn't say hello to, and Ryan, thanks for joining us today. So, it's a little bit of a special day because I decided it was a special day. It's time to bring back a feature to the podcast that we had for many episodes, and then we just didn't do it anymore.
Is it the soundboard?
Oh, damn it. No, it's not
Sorry.
the soundboard. Anyway, I want to do the soundboard, but, you know, we always have that conversation of it takes that person out of the show. Like, they can't even talk or anything because they're just listening for perfect times to play that song or play a soundbite. We need somebody that's like, oh, no, that wouldn't even work because there's too much of a delay. You would be funny. I know you would be funny.
Really, how often do I talk during this show?
Well, I have the link to it in my email, so it's still up. We could still use it. Hello, Malik Halo and Joey. It's the GoNintendo Podcast questions section, or questions, as we used to call it. It's time to bring those back. So we're doing it a bit different now. I have opened up an email, which I tweeted out already, and I also put it up on GoNintendo. Hello, Sergio ALB64. And I'm telling you guys about it now. So, if you're new to the podcast, which you most likely are, because since we moved to YouTube, we've gotten a lot of new listeners. So I'm gonna explain what it used to be. We used to have a questions section where you could ask any question you wanted. It could be Nintendo related, it could be video game related, it could be whatever you want it to be. Any question for the podcast crew. You could ask a specific person, you could ask the whole crew, doesn't matter, or just ask a question in general. And we will answer it on the show. We will 100% answer it. You know, we don't do every question. We don't do every question that we have in one episode. We'll do like a couple each episode. But obviously, this is only going to work if I get support from. That was pretty good time. I like it. I like it a lot.
Of course you do.
You look like a contract killer, but I mean it as a compliment. I like it a lot. John Savage is here.
A contract killer who's also
With a heart.
Hi, Fred. You look like a contract killer. Looking good.
Hello, Microbiter and Stakona. You look like a contract killer, and the person you're going to kill knows that you're going to kill them, but they think you're just too handsome.
It's like a
and
Hannibal
like,
situation.
Yes, they're like, I can't not
be
do
elaborate backstory.
So anyway, here's how you send us questions now. I'm bringing back the question section, questions. So it's different. Send your questions to GoNintendoQuestions@gmail.com. Now, like I said, this is only going to work if you guys send questions. So if you don't send questions, it's not going to happen. So if you don't have anything to ask, then we won't do it. But if you do, I mean, it was hundreds of episodes where we had at least a couple questions each time. Yeah. So, and music has been going probably
real bad.
As
going real bad.
You guys are doing real bad.
As long, if not longer, than the question section.
No questions. We started the questions section, I think, right around the time we started the podcast.
But how long ago did we stop questions?
And what happened to all the last questions?
5 years ago, maybe?
Like.
Well, there was the great fire of GoNintendo a few years ago where the hardware blew up and the backup blew up at the same time. So that kind of killed it. Yeah, I remember it too. I don't remember when it was, but I do remember that event. Hello, Mario of 7 stars. So yeah, send a question or 2 or 3. Well, Stakona, the reason why we do it through email or like we used to do it on a message board is because it lets people get their questions in and they don't get like flooded right away. So like somebody could ask a question in the chat and other people are talking and I never see it. If we do it through the email, then I can 100% get to your question, and we will definitely answer it. So send your question or questions or questions to GoNintendoQuestions@gmail.com. So I will be very happy to answer those later. If you have them, I am going to check. I haven't checked yet. I just put the email out there. Hello, Red Dragon. But like I said, anything you want. And the questions section has spawned some, at least for longtime podcast listeners, some infamous discussions that still rage on to this day.
Yep.
Like the hot dog sandwich question.
And the one about pizza.
Pizza? Which pizza
The
would you eat
Rupert
first?
finger.
The Rupert's fingers. What was I going to say about that? Oh, yes. Nintendo did a poll recently to ask if people thought a hot dog was a sandwich. And it was really close, but 52% said a hot dog is a sandwich. That's the side I was on, so. But a couple developers at Nintendo argue against that. They say, nope.
Oh yeah,
you guys are
you're
wrong.
never gonna. It's never gonna be unanimous.
No, it's the one question that tears this world apart. If we could just answer, if we could come to an agreement on that one question, everything else would fall into place. Microbiter says, if I still did homework, I would send those questions to the crew for the crew to answer. Well, Mom Brain, you are a teacher. You could probably answer those questions. She loves math questions. You should give her math questions.
I got really good at math in the 2 years I spent teaching 5th grade. I got really good at math.
So,
Math
scale of
is
1 to 10
practice.
before. What were you at math?
3,
Okay, and now?
6.
Really?
I mean, don't ask me on the spot because I get math anxiety.
I mean, don't ask me math.
But like,
I
you
get
know,
math
long
anxiety,
division and fractions and like, you know, stuff that like I found difficult when I was in 5th grade, I now understand teaching 5th grade.
Microbiter is talking about hot dog buns, but I think he forgot to write the word dog, so he wrote hot buns. Hot buns are
Yeah.
connected, so they are not a sandwich. But what happens if you're eating a hot bun with a dog in the middle,
Well,
And it breaks apart.
and it breaks apart?
what if you take an Italian roll and you cut it, but you don't go all the way through, and then you stuff everything you want into that
Yeah, see?
into that roll?
Yeah, it's a
That's-
slippery slope.
That's
I mean,
That's normally what I do, so stuff doesn't fall out. The
Yes.
bottom.
Oh yeah, definitely.
yeah, because, all right, so then what would you call that if it's not a sandwich? Nothing, because it's a
A
sandwich.
hot bun.
Yeah, we
I'd
could
like a meatball hot bun.
right away.
Rupert's fingers on the hot bun.
Yeah, I was saying before the podcast started, blah, 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 blah. People were making up fake British slang for anything. And somebody said hot dogs in the UK are called Rupert's fingers. It's really good. But is a taco a sandwich, says Battle One. That's going into uncharted territory.
Not really bread, right?
You're talking about tacos?
Yeah.
Did you see the picture on Reddit? The genius thing to do with the taco?
1 second. But there's those peanut butter and cheese cracker sandwiches. They say sandwich on them. Yes, Mumry?
Where you take a soft shell taco shell and put it down on your plate, and you eat your hard shell taco over it, so that all the crap that falls out of the hard shell
Oh
taco
my
becomes
God.
another taco.
That is an excellent.
That
idea.
little
Is that
girl,
not the best idea?
It's a good idea.
that little girl in that commercial's
God
right.
bless Reddit.
Why not both?
Yeah.
She was right all along. All right. I don't remember if there was something else I was supposed to talk about. But yeah, feel free to let that debate rage on in the comment section or in the chat. Let's get to some Nintendo news. So our friend Jonathan Holmes, who works over at Destructoid and also writes for Nintendo Force, he claimed to have he claimed to get some inside information about the future of a particular game at Nintendo, as well as a franchise. And he had heard through his sources. Now I trust John. I 100% believe he got information from a source that he believed to be trustworthy. He heard that the chances of Mother 3 being localized are over. It's not going to happen. And we heard for a while there that the translation, the email is GoNintendoQuestions@gmail.com. We had heard for a while there that the translation on Mother 3 was done and they were finally going to release it here, but it never actually happened. But according to this rumor, it's not going to happen at all, which is sad. I mean, there is a fan translation. I didn't know it did that. There's a fan translation, so you can play it, and Nintendo knows of it, obviously, and they didn't shut it down, so they're cool with it, which is very weird for Nintendo. And then the other part of this rumor was that the Rhythm Heaven franchise was done as well, because apparently Iwata was the driving force behind that franchise. He, put the ideas out there to create a new installment and really pushed for it. And now that he's gone, there's no one to really do that. So that's where the story was earlier in the week. But surprisingly, someone at Nintendo, like, who was it? It's the Metroid guy, and I never remember his name.
Samus.
Oh, man. What is his name? Sakamoto. He was in an interview, and in the interview, this was at Eurogamer, they asked him, because Sakamoto is a producer on multiple Rhythm Heaven entries, and they asked him, is this true? And normally Nintendo's like, we don't comment on rumors or speculation, but now you have like the direct source. You don't have to go through a PR person. And Sakamoto was like, I didn't hear anything. He's like, no, we didn't say it was dead. It's not dead. He said, and they were like, so you're saying it's not dead? And he said, no, it is not dead. Specifically said that. So that's great news, because I love that franchise. I know it's, as far as Nintendo franchises go, it's not one of their biggest ones, obviously, and it's definitely niche because it's a rhythm game. But I really like that kind of stuff. It fits in for me with like the WarioWare kind of stuff, because it's just quirky and fun and weird, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, as far as the Rhythm Heaven stuff goes, we got a denial from Nintendo, someone in, a very notable position, someone that actually worked on a franchise and was a producer for it. So I would believe that. But as far as Mother 3, we don't have anything. So it's been, Mother 3 came out on the GBA, and it's obviously been a long time since it came out. And Nintendo, look at it this way. Star Fox 2 is coming out on the Super Nintendo Classic Edition. So stranger things have happened. So, it could happen at some point. It's just like, I know it makes fans very upset. They've taken to all different places to voice it. Adult Swim has a bump asking Nintendo to localize it. Disney XD just recently did they did a tweet asking Nintendo to localize it. And people bring those signs to Raw and SmackDown all the time, localize Mother 3. And there used to be that guy who would bring a sign that said Waluigi Amiibo, and that finally happened. So, Moldy Clay is a top-rated comment. And Moldy Clay says, I don't know that I would call this a rumor. It is, Iwata was the driving force, so I am speculating because we don't know if anyone else cares. I should talk to John. I mean, I talk to John fairly often. I should just ask him about it. I know he's not going to give me specifics on where he heard it, but he could give me some more insight into why he felt the desire to run with the story. He actually personally reached out to me when he made the post over on Destructoid because he wanted to bring it to my attention, which is why I shared it with you guys. So he obviously really believed in it. I'm happy he was wrong on this one part, but the other part we don't know yet. Hello, Linked Triforce. My brain.
Yes, dear.
There is a new character coming to ARMS.
Oh, really?
Yes. ARMS will soon have a new character to use as part of the next free update. It's the street-performing pugilist Lola Pop. A well-traveled clown with a personality as colorful as her clothing, Lola Pop's key ability is inflating her body like a balloon, providing her with great defensive qualities. There's also 3 new arms coming and a new stage. The stage obviously goes along with Lola herself. Baba bee baba. Here's what Lola looks like, my brain. She's not that bad. It's not that scary. I've seen scarier clowns. It's coming out. That's a scarier clown.
She's just weird.
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
Not scary. Just weird.
Clown.
Yeah.
Always weird. There's got to...
Yeah. Never been attracted to clowns.
You know,
Yeah,
I
that'll do
didn't.
it for me.
I didn't think Bozo was weird. But maybe
kidding?
that's just maybe that's just because I like the grand prize game so much.
Probably liked Pogo the clown too.
I don't even know who that is.
That's well, I'm sure.
I
No,
can't think of who that
John
is.
Wayne Gacy when he dressed up as a clown, he
yeah.
was Pogo the clown.
Well, I haven't seen it, so I can't say that it was weird. But
It's nightmare fuel. Just looking at
I've
the pictures.
probably seen the picture. There's no doubt, but I'm gonna look it up now.
Yeah, he looks like a little bit spent, right? Like if it's the picture I'm thinking of. that I've
I'm
seen.
sure it looks scary. Yes.
Yeah, I've seen.
Don't
that
use it as the
picture
podcast
before.
picture.
Yeah.
I will not do that. Microbiter says, "Why?" Hello, King Puppy.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Microbiter says, "Why a clown?" I don't know, because Nintendo was like, "What other things stretch? How about balloons? They stretch when you make them into balloon animals and all that stuff. So let's make a clown character." Hammer has a top-rated comment and says, "Man, the character designers for this are complete madmen," and I dig it. Yeah, she's weird looking. Not as weird as that, but weird. What is I never saw. I didn't see it until I was much older, so I didn't watch it when I was a kid and get scared of clowns. But I've always been freaked out by clowns. I don't know why though.
Yeah.
We were in
Well,
like maybe
it's a legit
middle
thing.
school.
It has to do with the fact that they're always smiling, and it's the same thing with like people wearing masks. You don't know what their real intentions are.
Yeah, you can't properly read their emotions.
Yes.
And they like get in your space, like, you know, because you're like supposed to like them and think they're funny and like great. So they're like all in your space.
Roth Sothy says Lola Pop will float too.
She'll float too. She'll float too.
That is great.
Right.
We're gonna go see that, right? I
Oh,
really
yeah,
want to see
we're
that.
dragging Dorothy.
We have to get everyone we know that's really afraid of clowns.
Penyak won't
Penyak,
go.
we gotta get.
He won't go.
Yes, we got.
Hey, Penyak, you want to go see it? No,
No.
no.
Yeah. Oh my God. I bet we could convince them.
No, I really think
If we
can't.
tell them we're going to another movie, I bet
They'll
we
leave.
could convince them.
Yeah, no.
There is no way, and I don't blame him.
Hey, King Puppy, thank you. If you do, I appreciate it. We're not doing that because that's going on right now. Switch eShop, as well as the Wii U and the 3DS eShop, I believe. I know Switch for sure. Has added a new way to pay for games. So if you don't have a credit card and you don't have Nintendo eShop card, you now have a third option, PayPal. So if you have a PayPal account that's obviously linked to a bank account or a credit card, you can now use PayPal to pay for your games. Usually when I'm buying like software online, I'll go with the PayPal route just because I feel like it's quicker. Well, it is quicker than putting in your credit card and all that stuff. Plus, I don't want to. If I'm buying software from a site, like if I'm buying like editing software or something from a site I'm not too familiar with, I don't want to give them my credit card information. PayPal, I don't have to worry about that stuff. So,
After all these years, I still don't have a PayPal.
do you have Square? Do
Yeah.
you have what's another one?
Venmo.
Venmo?
I have Venmo,
I do have Venmo.
All right, then you're okay.
which is
Yeah.
PayPal.
But I've only had it for like 3 months.
But you have it. Awkward Hugger says, I've been waiting for this since the original Wii was released. Now I hopefully never have to buy an eShop card from the store. Yeah, I can't even remember the last time I did that. Tell the truth, RMC. You mean porn sites, says SD Sicker. Yes, that's what I mean. Software sites. Mom brain, go away. I'm buying my software. Man, if you're paying for a porn subscription, you have to be addicted to porn, right? That has to be an addiction because you get so much for free.
Yeah.
Like you get
You have to be
anything for
into
free.
something like wildly specific that you couldn't find anywhere else.
Yeah, and then you probably don't want your credit card information linked to that. Even if you're into something like really off the wall, you should be able to find it for free.
You would think.
I mean, maybe it's a quality issue.
Oh, they want their HD.
Do you really
You
need
can get
all that
HD
in
for
HD?
free.
They want their SD'd. What?
And I feel like I really don't need my porn in high def. It's not going to
I
make
do.
the difference for me.
I do, definitely.
Okay.
I mean, how much HD do you need for 3 minutes?
That's what I'm saying. Like what?
I need to see each individual
And I
pubic hair.
think that if I was paying for
4K,
porn, I
4K.
would watch a lot more of it because I would feel like I was wasting my money.
Yeah, right. Well, I paid for this. I'm gonna watch this 2-hour porn.
What if they did it like Audible, where like you get credits every month,
That is not what I thought you meant.
but you can only
You meant
keep...
someone reading porn to you.
I think they do that.
That's a thing.
But like, do you know what I mean? So you get credits, and like you can hold up to like 6 credits at a time. Then you got to use them. Do you know
Oh,
what I
I'll
mean?
use them. You know what I
Let's
want to
do that.
know?
Let's
Speaking
open
of
that.
things that don't get used, who does the like the share buttons on porn sites? Who are they for?
You're gonna love this.
I cannot imagine.
They have, like,
except on
everyone-
Facebook.
I don't know. Maybe it's convenient for the actors that are
Here's-
in the porn.
Here's when I would use that. If I
Was on someone
found
else's
a
computer.
porn, yeah. If I found a video that had someone in it that I knew, I would use that to share with
Share it
my,
on their Facebook
with
page.
my friends, my very
Hey,
close
is this
friends.
you?
Hey, I haven't seen you in forever. You're looking real good in high def. That's when I would.
Man, I really gotta tweet this out.
Yeah, right. Oh man, I honestly think they put them on there sometimes just to like have people accidentally click them. Just like whoops.
I mean, that's why you have to use a different browser, like with all the automatic plugins.
You don't want
And
to
like
be
casting,
You
like
don't,
imagine like
you don't want to be logged
accidentally-
into anything.
So when I'm with Aiden, he loves like YouTube videos of like the Grinch and whatever. But he also just likes to listen to the songs, and their hot tub has Bluetooth. And so I'll go on YouTube and like play the Grinch while he's in the hot tub, and every once in a while I'll cast it by accident into the living room.
The,
Everybody's like,
porn
"What are you
version-
doing?"
The porn version of the Grinch is called the Minch. Swedish Galaxy, you are correct. Nintendo does own the rights to a couple porn movies because what's his face? Why can't I remember his name? This is terrible.
Mario?
Ron Jeremy was in one where he dressed up like Mario.
Oh yeah, was
Uh,
it called
so they bought
Super
it to control
Tornado
it.
Brothers?
Yeah, they tried to like shut it down, but once it's on the internet, forget it. But yes, they
That's what we tell the kids.
secured the rights to that
Boys
one,
and girls, once
so
it's on
that
the
it
internet,
couldn't
it's
be
forever.
distributed anymore, basically. What they need to do is get Charles Martinet to dub over Ron Jeremy. Let's blow. Europe is getting a special new 3DS XL on October 13th. It's a Super Nintendo edition. So are you feeling bad?
Excuse me?
Are you feeling bad that you can't get a Super Nintendo Classic edition?
Yes.
Well, now you can pretend that you have one by getting the Super Nintendo new 3DS XL. As far as we know, this is only going to be in Europe. Well, I should say, as far as we know right now, this is only going to be in Europe. We don't know if Nintendo's going to surprise us with it at some date down the road. But yeah, Europe only, as far as we know, which is kind of upsetting. But that's usually how 3DS stuff goes. And then it'll be like 50-50 if we actually ever get it. Sometimes they just never bring all the designs here, and sometimes they surprise us. Mr. Rye says, damn, my favorite of the designs. Too bad we won't get this much nicer option. Yeah, usually seems to be how it works. They have a really cool design, and they're like, nope, not getting it where you are. Jordan is saying fake lines from the Super Hornio Brothers. And he typed this in.
Hornio Brothers.
He typed this in 2 sentences. He goes, "It's a P, miss."
Clever.
Oh man, that's good.
Clever.
Does that version have multicolored buttons? Yes, it does. It is the European Super Nintendo version or the Japanese one as well. Yes, it has the multicolored buttons on it. Square Enix has pretty much confirmed Final Fantasy 15 for the Switch in some way, shape, or form. They at Gamescom this week, which is going on in Europe all week long. Square Enix was doing a panel on a whole bunch of different things, and they talked about Final Fantasy 15. And at one part, they like, I was saying this in a video, it's not even really a tease. It's a confirmation, because the guy at Square Enix is like, there's this system, and it sounds a lot like Twitch, and you should keep your eye on it. And we're supposed to be like, oh, I wonder what he's talking about. So they're obviously doing something Switch-related. As far as Final Fantasy 15 is concerned, we just don't know what. Now, hello, Morgan. A lot of people are saying that it's going to be Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition, which was announced for tablets and smartphones, which is a reworking of Final Fantasy 15. They say all the storyline and all the core stuff is still in the game, except now you're playing it on a touchscreen, and the characters are chibi style instead of the, I don't know what you want to call them, realistic style of the other version. But that's not what was talked about. There's a graphic on screen that talks about Pocket Edition, but they were talking about Final Fantasy 15 in general, all encompassing. And then furthermore, in an interview with IGN, the same guy that was on the stream was asked about Pocket Edition coming to the Switch, and he's like, well, Pocket Edition is a touchscreen only game. He's like, it doesn't support a controller. So it was like, I'm not saying we couldn't do it at some point, but I'm not saying we are. So it sounds like whatever they're doing Final Fantasy 15 related is something else. It could be a straight up port of Final Fantasy 15, obviously with some dumbed down graphics. It could be an enhanced version of Pocket Edition that supports controllers and has a different graphical style. I don't know, but something is 100% going on. There's no question about it. And what we know for sure is that it's Final Fantasy 15 related. So anybody that's saying Pocket is confirmed is not correct. Anybody that's saying 15 flat out is not correct. We don't know what it is yet. Mr. Rye has a top comment, and he has one of my favorite gifts. He has the guy from when The Undertaker got defeated at WrestleMania, the shocked guy. Let me read a comment. Claude Level 250 says, Switch is taking Japan by storm, and Square Enix is very enthusiastic about the platform, so it makes sense. Indeed they are. Yeah, you're right. They seem very enthusiastic about it, which is great, because Square Enix is a very big third party. We don't need to do that. We don't need to do that. Yeah, okay. So this week was rough for Super Nintendo fans. For people that were trying to buy the Super Nintendo Classic Edition, over in Europe, the pre-orders were very competitive. Lots of people trying to get them. My understanding is they sold out in 20 minutes across the stores that were allowing them. That's the good side of things. Here in North America, I guess United States, I should say specifically, it was, I want to say, a bigger disaster than the NES Classic Edition. But Nintendo keeps saying there's going to be a lot more stock than there was of that, so that should mean there's going to be more chances to pre-order. But here's the whole string of events that happened. So, was it Walmart? Well, I don't remember what retailer it was a while ago that opened up pre-orders and then canceled all of them because they said everything correct. I think it was Walmart. Hello, Retro Gamer. But anyway, pre-orders opened up this week officially. There were 6 retailers involved. I would go through all of them, but I can't remember them. I'll guess. All right, I know Best Buy and Target, Amazon, Walmart, GameStop. Damn it, I'm missing one. What's another big retailer? Did I say Best Buy?
Yeah.
Damn it. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Pre-orders open. But here's the weird thing. Like, all the pre-orders didn't open up at the same time, and the stores didn't let people know when they were opening pre-orders. So literally, I don't remember which store it was, but they opened pre-orders at 2 in the morning, East Coast time. Like, that's not fair. The East Coast is asleep.
Good for bots.
That's where my story's going, yeah. So there were other retailers that opened up pre-orders at a normal time, like 1 p.m., 2 p.m. East Coast time. But yeah, so it was really tough for people to get them because a lot of people were asleep when pre-orders opened. We didn't know when pre-orders were going to open, and it was different with each retailer, like I said. Then there were... Amazon has canceled some pre-orders now because they aren't letting people buy multiple units because they're trying to stop scalpers, but they didn't say that when people originally pre-ordered. So now, you know, some families I'm sure want to get 2, and now they thought they secured them, but they didn't. So, but then there's the whole thing of sites crashed as soon as they went live, and like GameStop.com was down, like down completely. You couldn't even get to it. And lots of people are saying, what the hell, the pre-orders just opened on Best Buy or whatever, and they're gone. Like it wasn't even a minute and they're gone. How is this possible? And like John Savage said, because of bots. And there's this one bot in particular, the Tai Ding bot, which apparently costs $110, but you can use it to attack pre-orders for whatever. And lots of people used it for the NES Classic Edition, and now even more are using it for the Super Nintendo Classic Edition. So that's why they were snatched up so quickly, and that's why on eBay you're seeing an $80 system going for $300 because people never had the chance or had a very slim chance of getting them because there were so many bots out there snatching up the pre-orders.
Seems so wrong to me.
Yeah, so it's that's where we're at right now. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, here's your best bet right now, Toys R Us, because Toys R Us didn't take online pre-orders and aren't doing online pre-orders. Launch day, you line up, you get one. That's your best bet right now. You might have to go there early and camp out overnight, but at least you know, like, you'll get there and you'll be like, okay, I'm 4th in line. I got a pretty good shot at getting one.
You don't got to fight any robots while you're waiting in line.
I think there's a comment about that.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I don't know if there's going to be more pre-orders to come before the system launches. I don't know how it's going to work, and everybody's being quiet about it, and Nintendo hasn't said anything. So, you know, it's really a shame, and you know, Nintendo caught a lot of flack for the NES Classic Edition, and I wanted to give them the benefit of the doubt with this time around, but I can't because I think it's been worse. So,
and it's just getting started.
Yeah, right. Zoso187 says, it should not be this difficult to pre-order the damn thing. I'm disgusted with the whole situation, but I know nobody cares. Oh, lots of people care, trust me. It was a comment on Twitter that I read. They said, I'll go the brick and mortar route because I don't have to worry about bots there until Cyberdyne gets a little more advanced. I said, yeah, I think you got some. Well, I don't remember the timeline for the movie. Are we past that?
Oh, we've been way past that stuff.
Never mind. That's real sad.
They had to keep pushing it back.
Rocket League is getting Nintendo-specific content when it does come out on the Switch. So there's going to be a Mario-themed car. It's the Mario NSR. There's going to be a Luigi-themed car, the Luigi NSR. Let's see what they say. Exclusive customization items and battle cars for the Switch version. And I don't know. I love Mario. I love Luigi. I think these cars are dumb looking.
Yeah.
But
they're lame.
But there's a third car coming.
That looks like a
Oh, I know.
like a free download in a McDonald's Happy Meal.
Yes. The third car. Now that's a car. There you go.
Nice
The Metroid Samus gunship car. That is going to be. So all these are free. So, you know, you can't really complain about free ugly cars. But yes, like if somebody in real life gave me a new car for free and it was ugly, I wouldn't be like, no, I don't want it.
Here's your free Aztec.
Yeah. Why do you hate me? So they're free unlockable battle cars at launch. Both vehicles are free. The Mario and Luigi. Oh, wait. Let me read this. Both vehicles are free. Yeah, all right. You unlock them in-game by completing certain requirements, and there will be more details on that later. Several exclusive customization items. The Mario and Luigi topper hats can be used on any non-licensed customizable battle car, while the Superstar Rocket Boost can be used with the Mario NSR and Luigi NSR. Likewise, the Wave Beam Rocket Boost is exclusive to the Samus Gunship. That's Samus Gunship, man. Somebody out there with a lot of money, make that into a real car. I want to see that drive down the highway. When does it come out? We don't have a release date yet. Turquoise. This year is what they're aiming for. Goodbye, SD Sick Hero. Thanks for joining us. Swedish Galaxy 94 says, now turn the ball into a morph ball, and we can call this Rocket League Blast Ball too. Yeah, the ball has to look like a morph ball, at least in one of the arenas. Come on, that just makes too much sense. I'm going to read this. You were on the Skype chat last night when we were talking about Owen Wilson, right? Or did you already go? Did you go to bed?
I might have just left. Yeah.
I'll get into it later because we're going to talk about that. All right. Some more DLC. Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle is getting a season pass. So Mr. Davide Soliani, when asked about there being DLC or post-game content for Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, he's like, I can't say anything, but finally Ubisoft has come out with the details. So there is a season pass. 8 unique steampunk weapons will be available at the launch of the game, each one with its own statistics. These items will be exclusive for season pass owners. This fall, players will be able to test their skills with new solo challenges or with a friend through additional co-op maps. And in 2018, players will be able to play through brand new story content. The season pass will be available on August 29th, which also happens to be the launch day for the game. So people called this long before they announced it because they were like, yeah, there's going to be DLC. It's Ubisoft. They love doing DLC and season passes. To tell you the truth, what company doesn't really nowadays? It's very hard to find a game put out by a major publisher that doesn't have DLC involved. Sparky Muffin says, it wouldn't be Ubisoft without day one DLC, and then he strikes that, and he says, oh, wait, those are just season pass bonuses. I mean, it still counts. I think it still counts. John Savage, you have a 3DS.
I do.
Are you going to pick up Metroid Samus Returns, coming out September 15th?
I wasn't planning on it.
Oh, I thought you liked Samus.
I do like Samus. I haven't done much with my 3DS. I've been
Now it's time.
All Switch.
September 15th. Oh, yeah, I know that. So at Gamescom, Nintendo showed off more of Metroid Samus Returns, the remake of the Game Boy game Metroid 2 Return of Samus. But this game has new content in it as well, and we got to see a couple of new things. Shown off in this was the Diggernaut boss. So the Diggernaut is this new giant boss that walks. So if you don't know, this is a side-scrolling Metroid like the old days. In the background, the Diggernaut is like this giant robot that has, it looks like a laser eye, and it shoots at Samus, but also it has its arm is like a grinder, and it grinds caverns into dust. So Samus has to run away from it while it's grinding behind her. And we don't know if you actually fight it or anything, but that's what we saw. We saw Samus running away from this thing and trying not to get crushed by it. Also, we saw so Metroid 2 Return of Samus. Yes, that's right. Has it's about the evolutionary tale of the Metroid, the different forms that a Metroid goes through as it grows up. And in this game, we're getting a look at a new step in the evolutionary chain, and it's called the Omega Metroid. Like I said, it's one we haven't seen before, and it certainly looks quite different from what the Metroid is that we are all used to. So if you let a Metroid grow up a little bit, this is what it turns into.
Scary.
It turns into this freak. So you'll be doing battle with that at some point. And then I think, if I go to the next top story, yeah. They also said that Metroid Samus Returns is going to have Chozo Memories. This is special art that you can unlock in the game by meeting certain requirements. And Chozo Memories will show you unique artwork that details the Metroid storyline. And they made a specific point of saying it will include some elements that have never been seen before. and something that you couldn't even imagine about the Metroid franchise. So it sounds like these things are going to be worth hunting out and fulfilling the requirements to get. And I'm sure it'll be done, within 5 minutes of the game coming out. Somebody will put a video on YouTube. But that's pretty interesting here because, let's face it, they have some goodwill to restore with Nintendo fans when it comes to Metroid because Other M kind of, yeah. Enough said about Other M. And then they did Metroid Federation Force, which I really liked, but people didn't give it a try because it was a spin-off and they weren't interested and they didn't like the designs of the characters, blah, 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 blah. I've talked about that to great lengths in the past, but people are very happy about this Metroid because it's not only a return to classic, quiet Samus as far as we know, it is also a return to side-scrolling Metroid. So I imagine they're taking this storyline stuff that they're putting in very seriously. Immediate Muffin has the top comment, and he says they will reveal there is actually a tiny Ridley that operates the big Ridleys and Meta Ridleys we are familiar with, and now he can finally be in Smash Brothers. So one day, I'm sure one day Ridley will be in Smash Brothers, just not now. Today is not that day. There was a survey in Japan from Japanese magazine Famitsu. They talked to 16,000 people, and all 16,000 of these people I have made the mistake of mentioning Federation Force, and now people are going to talk about that. Oh, what's going on here? All 16,000 people here talked about or owned the Switch, and they took a survey about the Switch. So in Japan, 65% of Switch owners are male and 34% are female. 5 to 9 years old, 18% of the fan base or of the ownership is 5 to 9 years old. 27% are 10 to 19, 20% are 20 to 29, 14% are 30 to 39, 12% are 40 to 49, 5% are 50 to 59, and 2.3% of Switch owners in Japan are 60 to 69 years old. That's pretty cool. What is this? Oh, they also cross-referenced with Splatoon. So 74% of Splatoon 2 players are male, and 73.9%, and 26.1% are female. And in the age breakdown, 22% are 5 to 9, 40% are 10 to 19, 17% are 20 to 29, 10% are 30 to 39. 7.6% are 40 to 49, 50 to 59 is 1.7%, and there are 0.0% of 60 to 69-year-olds playing Splatoon 2, unfortunately. I don't know, maybe it's just too much for them. Maybe it's too fast of a game. I don't know. I don't know what those old people are playing. Steel Diver says, what can I say? Guys like to splat. It's true.
You like to splat with your butt.
That's what we were saying last night. Yeah, but I think that I would love to know like the female player breakdown for like other online shooters like Call of Duty or Destiny or something like that. I'd like to know because I think 1/3 is pretty damn good of total players being female. I think that's pretty. I think it's higher than the average for the industry, I would imagine. I mean, I'd love to be wrong, but Nintendo has detailed what they're doing for PAX West, and they are bringing back their Nimnies at Night event, which is something they did a few years ago. They also detailed what games they're going to bring there. I mean, if you're going to PAX, you got all whatever, a bunch of stupid garbage. If you're going to PAX, you're going to have a whole bunch of Nintendo stuff to play. They're going to do a Super Mario Odyssey fan challenge, and that runs every day of the show. Fans must complete certain activities related to the game to receive a passport stamp. Once players collect all stamps, they will receive a Super Mario Odyssey themed gift while supplies last. It'll be the first time members of the public can play Rocket League on Switch as well as NBA 2K18. So that's pretty cool. They also have a live filming of Nintendo Minute with Kit and Krista. And that Nintendo Minute's going to focus on Metroid Samus Returns. There's going to be a Pokémon Tournament DX Virtual Academy fan event, whatever the hell that means. Oh, God, I love that this guy's name is Doug Bowser. Nindies at Night event on August 31st at the Museum of Pop Culture. The event is open to the public, and you get to play all kinds of indie games that are going to be available on the Switch. You should check it out because there's a buttload of them. We already talked about that. We did that. 3DS stuff is going to 3DS stuff is going to be there too. They want you to know that Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga plus Bowser's Minions and Metroid Samus Returns will be there to play as well. So if you're going to PAX, you probably were already going to check out Nintendo stuff, but Nintendo's like, hey, here's all the things we're doing at PAX. Get excited, baby. First comment comes from Harmony, and Harmony says, "Ah, yes, other anticipated titles. You know, well, they can't list every game, can they? Maybe there's going to be a surprise. Maybe there's going to be a big secret. I don't know. Maybe there won't be. North America, what do we get this week on our eShops? We got, not yet, Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. That comes out the 29th, so it's right around the corner. We also got Forma 8, which was on the Wii U, but it came out late on the Wii U. It really didn't come out all that long ago, and I feel like people had already given up on the Wii U, so I don't know how many people played Forma 8. But myself included, I didn't even get a chance to play it. But now it's out on the Switch. Now, Forma 8 is a Metroidvania-style game, except you're a spaceship flying around like a big planet, and you explore and gain new abilities for your ship to open up new paths and stuff like that. So I think it sounds pretty great. Also available is Pixel Lines DX, which is kind of like, it's kind of like Picross, but kind of not. So you get this big grid, and it's filled with like either empty space. It's filled with empty spaces and dots, and the dots are different colors, and they have a number in them. So like there'll be a blue dot, and it says 8, and you're looking for another blue dot that says 8, and this is all in a big grid, and you have to figure out how to draw a line that takes up 8 grid spaces to connect to the other 8. So you might be able to connect it, but it won't be drawn in the right way to make sense for the overall picture that you're creating, because there's like blues and yellows and reds, blah, blah, blah. So it's like Picross in a sense that you are, you know, making an overall big picture, but each section of the grid doesn't have numbers on the top and the left-hand side. This has numbers on dots inside. I played it a little bit, and I will tell you about it shortly. So that's available for you guys. Also available is the Neo Geo game Puzzled. And I believe that is it for North America. First comment comes from Steel Diver, and he says, Mario and Rabbids is why God gave up on humans.
Oh, wow.
It says that on the box. Did you know? Europe. What did Europe get? Europe got, well, they mentioned the ARMS Global Test Punch, which we have as well. They got Puzzled. They got Forma 8. They got Pixel Lines DX on the Switch. They got the Pokémon Tournament DX demo. The Wii U Virtual Console got Final Soldier and Soldier Blade, which are 2 TurboGrafx 16 games. RPG Maker Fez is available in the 3DS on the 3DS in Europe, which is the RPG creator for the 3DS. And you can play the games people make with that game for free by downloading the special app on the 3DS eShop. So if you want to play RPGs for free made by fans using RPG Maker Fez, you download the free app and you play those games. So you could get a whole bunch of games for free, basically. But I can't vouch for how good they're going to be because, you know, some Joe Schmo's sitting in the basement making them. Shantae Half Genie Hero is getting its, oh boy. Come on. Pirate's Quest. Is that what it's called?
The Risky Boots?
Yeah, the Risky Boots DLC, whatever it is. Like,
yeah, I think it's called Pirate's Quest.
Her own, her first starring role in a Shantae game.
Yeah, I keep checking to see if it's available. Because I keep forgetting the release date.
Yeah, they it's obviously it's soon. It's in this list. It's very soon.
What is it, like the end of the month?
I think it's sooner than that.
Okay.
Well, we're right at the end of the month, so yeah.
I mean, like the very end.
We will find out, but yeah, it's right around the corner. All right, we're not doing that. We're gonna do this though. GameStop says that the Switch is their most successful Nintendo launch ever. Ever. So this comes from a whole bunch of GameStop jerks. They say the Switch has been a massive success. GameStop saw growth in hardware sales by 14.8% year on year. Switch has been GameStop's most successful Nintendo launch ever, and attach rates for the system are consistently high, with over 5-to-1 since launch. GameStop says they're expecting a healthy allocation of Switch units for the second half of the year, and they believe that the high demand for the Switch demonstrates that consumers' appetite for games is healthy. They also say the Super Nintendo Classic Edition generated very high demand this week, and consumer demand for the Switch continues to be very strong. Hardware in the third quarter of the fiscal year will be driven by demand and allocation for the Switch. GameStop, according to them, had the largest Switch market share of all retailers. GameStop continues to see strong demand for the Switch, and allocations sell out in a matter of days. And GameStop believes that it's going to be like that through the holidays. Well, yeah, because Super Mario Odyssey is coming out, and it's going to be rough. We are looking at a system that could potentially, when its first year is over, have sold more than the Wii U sold in its entire lifespan. It is more than on track to do that, which is insane. The Wii U sold 13.1 million units, and last update from Nintendo, the Switch was over 5 million units sold, and that was like a couple months ago. So,
I mean, I've probably played my Switch already more than I played the Wii U because I could take it with me places.
Yeah, my other systems have been greatly neglected because of there's just so much to play on it. Especially there's just lots of great eShop stuff, and I mean, obviously people are feeling the same way because it's selling. So, top rated comment comes from Philosophy, and they say, "We are on a Nintendo-focused website. This is good news for the Switch, right? So what is the actual reason to downvote this news? Is it against Nintendo? Is it against GameStop? Recently, I don't get the community at all, but I never liked the thumbs up and thumbs down system to begin with. Yeah, people give it a thumbs down because of GameStop. But the rating overall right now is +7. I'll tell you who the negatives are. Chezcat, Fruzz, Shadowbuster, and T27 Duck.
Calling you out.
It's because it's GameStop. We're not doing that. I have footage of Mario plus Rabbids. Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. It's me playing the game. You can see me playing the game. What do I think of it? I'm going to tell you in a little bit. Our final top story. All right, Mr. Koizumi over at Nintendo, who's pretty much in charge of the Switch's direction, as well as Super Mario Odyssey, even though he gets the approval from Miyamoto. He did an interview about the pressure of creating a Mario game, and he says, "I would say that rather than feeling pressure externally, the pressure we feel is the pressure we put on ourselves to make the best game possible. That's something that we always have in mind while creating the games. As an example of that, creating the game at 60 frames per second is something, thank you, where we held ourselves to a very high standard with this game." He's talking about Super Mario Odyssey. Talks about Miyamoto's involvement in the game. He says his involvement in this project is pretty similar to previous projects as well, in that we will go to him and say, "This is the kind of game we want to make. This is what we're hoping to achieve." And he will look at it and give us feedback and advice and ideas. In terms of actually how much of his advice we take on, we have a degree of flexibility and a degree of autonomy. And for Super Mario Odyssey, actually, I'd say he left us to our own devices quite a lot. So it sounds like he's more hands-off with this one. And then because this is the game industry and people are weird, they ask him if there's going to be a sequel. Like, the goddamn game's not even out yet. He says that. He's like, we didn't even get this one out yet. I don't know if there's going to be a sequel or not. He's like, we got to see if this one's a success. Like, what kind of answer do you think you're... Like, why ask that question? Nintendo's not going to choose... No, they're not going to choose any outlet to be like, we're making a sequel to the game we haven't even put out yet. It's on the way, and you're getting the scoop. That's not going to happen. What a dumb. First comment comes from Sokar. Sokar says, why the hell will anyone want a sequel to Odyssey if the first one didn't even show up yet? There you go. I agree, Sokar. All right. That's your top stories.
All right.
Mom Brain,
Yes.
what'd you play?
I didn't play anything.
That's what I thought. Kirby,
Wow.
what'd you play?
I didn't play anything either.
Oh, that's what I thought. I didn't think that, to tell you the truth. John Savage, what'd you play?
Sorry.
I played some Civ 6, tried to get back in that a little bit. Played some Breath of the Wild, still chipping away at side quests and things like that. Hyrule's, saving Hyrule's gonna wait till all those little things are
I
done.
was going to say, there's
a lot
I
to
hear
do.
there's a lot in that game.
And some,
Listen, Zelda has been fighting off Ganon
for 100 years.
for 100 years.
she's
She
got
can
it.
wait a while.
Yeah,
She'll
yeah.
be okay.
She's good. She could wait another few hundred hours.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, we're hours. Exactly.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, that's fine. And some Splatoon.
In honor of Nikki Hill.
Yeah.
Yes, myself, John Savage, Vitamin G, and Do Michaels all hopped on Splatoon last night and played some Turf War. We did not use Nintendo's mobile app to talk to each other. We were using Skype. I don't know. I don't want to speak for you, but I had a great time.
I had a great time as well.
We played for a long time too.
Yeah, like 2.5 hours.
I know you left earlier than everybody else, but you were there a decent amount of time.
I was on until a little after midnight. I don't know how late you guys played after that.
1:30. Is that right?
You want to tell everybody about that?
She asked me how long I stayed up playing, and I was like, I think a little bit before 1, and she was like, no, I didn't go to bed until after 1. I was like, no, that's not right. I said, I'm going to look it up in my Skype history because I could see how long the phone call was. And I looked it up, and I was like, oh, you were right.
Yeah.
I was at my Skype
Dear diary.
my Skype call. Let me say this. We're not talking about this as in she was mad that I played so long. That's not it at all. It was that I said the wrong amount of time, and it was for bragging rights. Yeah, my phone history for Skype last night was 4 hours and 1 minute. So,
Oh, wow.
Vitamin G stayed on pretty much the whole time. He left maybe like 15 minutes before me and Do left because we were finishing up another game and we were just BSing. But that was Do's first time playing. Was that your first?
It was my first time playing with Dude.
You would Do, yes.
Yeah.
It was great to have, like, that's an online group we've never had. Like, I've played with you, I've played with Vitamin G online, I've played with Do, but all 4 of us together, I had a great time.
Well, I've never had an Xbox. So
Yes.
that's part of it.
I had a really great time. It was a lot of fun. You know, playing the game is fun, and talking to each other is fun, and just being stupid and whatever. Do seem to get into it pretty quickly.
He got good quick too.
Yeah, when I was hanging up with him, he was saying how he was really digging it, how he was happy he finally got to give it a chance because he wants to hop back into it. Were you there when we were talking about doing Salmon Run?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just
You
making
were
sure.
talking about it
Wednesday.
Yeah. That was just around the time you finished that up is when I left.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a lot of fun. For me, it's fun to have games to play online on Nintendo systems where like all of our friends are playing it because that never happens.
Yeah,
it's funny because like the Switch came out, and like when the Wii U came out, a couple people bought the Wii U that are friends, but when the Switch came out, like everybody, like a very large amount of our friends have the Switch, and like were asking me as soon as it launched, where do I get it? How can I get it? So now, you know, they're looking to play things on a Switch. So I'm like, get Splatoon. You're really gonna like Splatoon, and people have been picking up and we're having fun with it. So,
Splatoon.
yeah,
Splatoon.
I could have kept playing. I had a really good time, but we just played Turf War. We're gonna do Salmon Run on Wednesday, hopefully.
I mean, we could do
salmon run late tonight.
Oh, we're good. That's
I broke my Switch.
That's true. Should tell Vitamin
What
G
time
to
is
bring
the
his. All right, so technically the pay-per-view starts at 9, but I really don't think it's going to start until like 11 or 12.
It's in Vegas, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it,
And
is
they
that
wanna
the
push
only
it-
fight?
No, there's an undercard, then the pay-per-view starts, and there's 3 fights before that, then there's the main event.
Oh man.
They want to push it as late as they can to get more West Coasters in to buy. Like they know East Coast is going to be up and it's going to be late, so more people are, settling in for the night. But
Yeah,
West
between
Coast,
9 and midnight.
it's going to be 6 p.m. when the pay-per-view starts there, so people are still doing stuff. Yeah, I should tell Vitamin G to bring his. So you play that? Anything else?
I think that's it. 3 games is pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Makes up for some other people.
Hey, look, I apologized.
Hey,
Oh, yeah.
I've usually been the one who didn't play anything, so.
All right, what did I play? I played a lot this week. So I played Splatoon, but we covered that. I played Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, which is not out yet, but will be out soon. And you can watch me play that. I put up one full battle on our YouTube channel, so you can check that out. It is definitely not the type of game I normally play. And when I do play those games, I really enjoy them, but I'm terrible at them. And that is on full display in this video. So if you want to see me really do a crappy job, you can watch that. But it's like XCOM, but with Mario and Rabbids. So, hiding behind cover and strategy and sneaking up on enemies and, tag team attacks and all kinds of stuff like that. What I've played so far, I really enjoy. I don't usually play those type of games. I did play XCOM, and I really enjoyed XCOM. So when I found out that's what Mario plus Rabbids was going to be, that style game, I was down for it. And it takes me a long time to go through stuff just because when I play like those strategy type of games, I way overanalyze every single move. And usually when I come to a conclusion, I've made the wrong decision. But I'm learning. I'm learning. Yeah, so there's guys, you're fighting the Rabbids, and they'll be hiding behind cover, and some cover's destructible and some's not. And it's turn-based, so you move your characters and attack, and then they do their thing. So I'm always like, should I stay and hide? Should I move all my characters up? Should I put one out there and let them take the brunt of the shots? Blah, 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 and I could sit there for like a ridiculously long time trying to figure out what to do. And then I'm like, all right, I'll make this move. And then I'm like, well, that was a terrible decision. But I'm going through it, and I'm enjoying it. And what's the review? I think the review embargo is Monday. I don't remember what time Monday. Well, so it comes out the 29th. The 29th is Tuesday. Yeah, then that would make sense. The review embargo's got to be Monday. Back to school?
Wednesday.
You go back Wednesday? Oh.
Teachers go back.
I go back
Wednesday.
Tuesday.
Oh, no. Kirby and I do not go back to school. Right? You don't?
No.
Oh,
no.
just making sure.
I haven't been in a school in a very long time.
So I played that. I also played Pixel Lines DX, and I do like the game. It is fun. It's an interesting puzzle game. Like I said, it's different from Picross, but the music really gets on my nerves. I turned the music off, so I'm okay now. But yeah, it's just a good puzzle game to like chill out with. You go in there and I don't know, I did like 15 or so puzzles in one round, and then when I'm like editing videos or waiting for something to upload, I have the second TV right next to my computer, so I swap the monitor over and just play while I'm sitting there. And that game supports touchscreen, so if you want to do touchscreen for the puzzles, which makes more sense, honestly, because the game was originally on mobile devices and came over to the Switch. But they did a really good job with the controller implementation, too, using the joystick to move around the level or move around the board. So, yeah, it's a fun puzzle game. It's an interesting idea. And as far as I know, it's jam-packed full of levels. So there's plenty of stuff to do in it. And they have DLC coming out for it, I believe. So So, yeah, not, the most amazing game I've ever played, but as far as puzzle games go, it's something different and new. I'm enjoying it. I will definitely go back to it. I have so many other games that I need to play, and I have stuff that I'm playing that I can't talk about. What am I? Yeah, I can't. I didn't play anything on PS4. I didn't play. No. It was like all Switch this week. Yeah. Oh, I played Chicken Wiggle on the 3DS again. You get check out Chicken Wiggle. Damn. Oh, I should have fixed this. Check out Chicken Wiggle. Damn it. It's a fun game. If you like platformers and you like the Mario Maker stuff, check out Chicken Wiggle. If you like chickens, play Chicken Wiggle. All right. We're going to see if you guys came through. I mean, if you didn't, that's fine. It just means you don't have questions you want to ask. We are going to see if questions are here. Go Nintendo questions.
It's got to be at least one.
Well, now you've jinxed us.
We'll see.
Go Nintendo questions, and my password is...
Oh, God, I'm so nervous.
Don't get nervous. All right, get music ready. Either way. All right, I'm going to check. Oh, there's questions. There's questions.
Told you.
There is a good amount of questions. Thank you very much, everybody. I really appreciate it. And like I said, if this is something you guys like and you have questions, then send them over to GoNintendoQuestions@gmail.com.
Where?
GoNintendoQuestions@gmail.com. We would love to answer them. This one's from, well, let me see if they have any. This one's from Guy Bones, long-time podcast listener. He says, Go Nintendo questions are back, baby. He says, woo! Questions are back. Now you just to fly. I guess he meant to say need and forgot to type because he was so excited. Now you just need to fly and do every week to read them. Anyway, what is your preferred toilet paper orientation? See, we should have never stopped.
Over the top.
We should have never stopped question section.
Yeah, it has to be over the top. You're doing it wrong the other way. Totally wrong.
I agree.
I'm under.
Okay. I used to be
I bet
under.
you are.
Freaking animal.
I'm under. I'm sorry.
Yeah, here's the thing. I used to be under, but when I moved into my apartment, the way the dispenser, the way it's the location requires me to do overhand, or else it's just going to be a pain.
See, you have an answer that makes sense. I want to know why these two are diehard over.
The only justification for doing under is if you have children or pets that mess with the toilet paper.
Why over though?
Because it's so easy to get
It's
over.
just much
Under
easier to access.
and I hate the feeling of a roll.
Maybe
of
my
toilet
hands
paper.
are too big.
No,
See-
I have small hands.
See, this is what always happens with over here. I don't know if it's the rolls of toilet paper you get, but they're like boom. They're like
Costco,
huge.
they're Costco.
So you
toilet paper.
go to pull the toilet paper over, and I'm like, come on, here we go. Like very carefully, it's like, and it tears, and I'm like, no.
But I've had the same problem under. I really have. I think that's totally irrelevant.
Maybe I'll get a toilet paper they make an extender.
No, what you should just do is just put paper towels in there, and then
Then you'll be using paper towels for everything.
That won't tear anything up for you.
Kleenex, napkins, toilet paper.
I just bleached our toilet plunger. So
toilet
it's
paper
nice
for
and
the butt,
clean.
paper towels for the forehead while you're in there having a rough time. He says, over or under and why. As for me, it has to be over. Makes more sense, but no real reason. Don't have to reach as far. Easier to pull.
It's access. It's easier.
You know
That's
what the
how I
worst
feel.
is? When you're in a public restroom and you can't find the end. It's like in the thing and you're like a cat. Literally, you're like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you've got to go all the way around.
and you gotta get underneath it. And
You're talking about those
The
big
sideways
dispensers.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, they're terrible. And it's all closed in there. You can't see anything.
I think we can
Super-
all agree though that the cheap thin toilet paper that you'll usually find in public restrooms is terrible.
It's
Yes.
that's a war crime.
Oh, yeah.
Prison toilet
Super
paper.
Sanchez says, Hollisay Elaine says the patent picture for toilet paper shows it over the top.
Yes.
AS says I'm more of a 3 shells sort of guy. Now that I like. Joey says under all the way. That's right, Dan.
Well, Joey, you're wrong.
Thank you guys for the great pod, and remember to always let bygones be bygones. We will always remember that. All right, we will do one more for today's show because we still got to do music. Steel Diver says questions, which is what we used to call it. Questions.
Can we call them that again?
Yes. I just wanted to make sure I explained it as questions for the newcomers because
To get it started.
yeah. Hey, RMC, Mombrain, Kirby, Nikki Hill, John Savage, Nintendo, anyone else? Rami, do you remember a game demo for the DS called Air DS? I remember seeing a video of it on YouTube and being excited for it. Do you know anything about what happened?
It's pronounced Airds.
Airds. Yeah, I saw the demo for Airds in person at E3. They had it on a DS demo set up there. And I don't know. There was an interview where they mentioned it briefly. I think they got pretty close to finishing it, and then they just shelved it for some unknown reason. You need like, if I can remember the guy's name. Liam Robertson. Talk to that guy on Twitter. If you want to find out information about games that were announced and that never came out, he's the guy who can do the research to get you the information. Anyways, thanks for the great podcast as always. I still laugh about once a month when I think of Salad Sexy. Now that's one I haven't thought of in a long time. All right, guys, like I said, you can send your questions to GoNintendoQuestions@gmail.com. We will be happy to read them. Thanks you to everybody that sent them in already. I greatly appreciate it. We'll be good for at least a few weeks.
Kirby, I think you'll appreciate this. Yesterday, Ramit and I were talking. I don't remember how we got on the subject, but we decided that from now on, it is not called a tenderloin. It's called a tenderloin.
No. This is what I mean. I agree now, but she decided it on her own.
Beef tenderloin.
The tenderloin is delicious.
What is that for dinner?
Listen, tenderloin for dinner.
Tenderloin. Just the idea of somebody saying it, thinking it's the right word, like in a restaurant.
This tenderloin.
Yeah, like,
Okay. Can I have the tenderloin, please?
like when you were trying to get her to order like stuffed crumped pizza.
Why is it funny to just add one wrong
Or
letter in there?
fried bean turd.
Fried bean turd.
I did do that.
Or Taylor ham. The Taylors. The Taylors are
Taylor's ham.
delicious.
The sailors are delicious. I love me some tailors.
All right.
All right,
Let's
we're
do
gonna do
music.
Taylor's
Music.
tenderloin.
Sorry, Fireflame.
All right, so here we are.
BR.
BR.
That is right, Link Triforce.
Oh no.
Is this not on? I thought it was on.
Lights on.
Sorry.
First song
I don't think that's gonna balance properly.
comes from Piplup Water.
What the heck is this?
Right off the bat, I don't know, but it's great.
Yeah, it's got something to it.
Is this a
Okay.
3DS game?
No, it's either GBA or DS.
I don't think it would help. Either way.
DS.
Okay.
It's about a ninja girl.
No.
Is it about an ace attorney?
No.
Is it about an Apollo's Justice?
Is it about a center full of trauma?
No. Goldenacks feel right there.
Yeah, those drums, you're right. That very convincing trumpet.
I was playing Goldenacks for RCC kids. They were having a water gun fight, and I put Goldenacks music on.
I got no idea. It's not first party, is it?
Sure is.
Oh, all right. It's not familiar for first party. It's a sports game?
Nope.
It's not a Kirby game.
Is it a Pokemon?
It's a Pokemon.
Okay.
Black and white.
I defer to you.
What the hell? Pokemon games were on DS. Black and white 2.
No.
Dash? Eldrazi?
No.
Mystery Dungeon?
No.
All right.
Slap those hands too.
Did we get a half point for Pokemon?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know.
Pokemon Ranger Guardian Sign.
Oh, if I thought about it more, I could have gotten it.
This one comes from Tyler, and it's Tyler's first time.
Thanks,
submitting.
Tyler. I know this song. What's this? First party?
Yep.
Yeah. It's not Zelda, is it?
It is.
All right, well, that narrows it down. Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask?
It's Majora's Mask. It's
Ah, yes. The milk bar. The milk bar. Milk bar.
it's from Wired.
There we got some Moji Man.
Some real noob scratchers.
Kung Fu 2.
No.
What system is it, NES?
Yeah. It's a long one, so let me just advance.
Licensed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe more too.
Captain Bucky O'Hare.
No. Please guess it. I have a headache from this making it worse.
It is kind of annoying.
I know. If this is correct, is this a bad game show song? Oh yeah, it's Family Feud.
It is.
It's. Oh man,
Howard.
they got a couple right notes in there.
It is Family Feud. This one comes from Wolfric Chaser.
Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
X-Lay. X-Razor.
Super Turrican.
No.
Sonic Blast Man. Chuck Rock 2.
Nope.
Joe and Mac.
Nope.
Secret of Mana. Secret of Evermore.
King Arthur.
Nope.
No.
Play Fighter something.
Nope.
I don't know. Alright, we don't know.
It is Advanced Dungeons and Dragons Eye of the Beholder.
Wow.
This one comes from Glitter Bubble 3.
This is familiar. Okay, it's that guy. Silver Surfer?
Nope.
Oh, it's that guy. I know. It's the Silver Surfer guy.
Yeah, this sounds really familiar.
Does the Silver Surfer guy look like a wizard?
God, this guy can make an NES sing. Listen to this. Is it a license game?
I don't think so.
I used to listen to all the soundtracks he did for NES. So I just used to look up this guy and I don't remember his name. So I've heard this, I just don't know what the game is. So cheating if I look up the guy.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Solstice.
Oh.
God damn it.
And this one comes from Mikey3319.
That sounds familiar.
Licensed?
Yep.
Goonies?
Yep.
So, heard a little bit of Goonies in there. Good. Oh, what'd you do?
We are the Goonies. We are the Goonies.
There you go. You're getting it.
Okay.
No. A little bit more. Keep it going. Okay.
All right. This next song comes to us from our very fine friend, Andy the Zombie.
Okay. I think I know this. Is this a Renegade Kid game?
No.
Really? What system?
GameCube.
Oh, I'm completely
Are you
wrong.
gonna guess Dementium?
Yeah, it's got a Dementium vibe. Okay, Resident Evil 4?
0? Or wait,
It
what was
could
the
be,
system again?
It's between 0 and 4.
GameCube, yeah. 2.
Yes.
Dude, Michaels would have known it right away.
And that was Resident Evil 2.
Yes.
Next one comes from Nate Senpai.
Notice me, Senpai. Notice me. Now this is a Kirby.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna guess it's a Super Nintendo Kirby.
Nice, that was making me nervous.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess. Oh, I don't know. Kirby Superstar?
No.
Damn it, Kirby's Dream Land 3?
Yes. Like some cute
That is a
little
jam.
critters.
That is a jam.
Next song comes from Eggman. And I apologize because Eggman had wanted me to play this on New Year's Eve. Whoops. Which wasn't a hint.
Oh, I was gonna ask. That's very familiar.
You played it.
What system?
3DS.
Oh, dear. First party?
I think it is.
Oh, yes. Yes. It's not Pilot Wings, is it?
No.
You think it's first party, but you're not sure.
I'm not sure.
That confuses me. Yeah, this is very familiar. Rhythm Heaven?
No.
I'm trying to think of ones that you wouldn't know. Oh my god, it's so great. I know it.
You do.
It's a franchise?
I think it is.
The fact that you don't know is really throwing me off. So it's not Mario, it's not Pokemon, it's not Donkey Kong, it's not Metroid, it's not Kirby, it's not
That is correct.
Fire Emblem, it's not Advance Wars, it's not.
Nope.
It's not Starfy.
Correct. It is not Star.
It's not Professor Layton.
Nope.
Trying to think of. Go ahead, kill me.
Picross. Right? That's first party, isn't it?
Depends on when you're talking about.
Picross 3D.
Yes, you are correct. Published by Nintendo.
Twice in one day, I was correct.
Well, everybody has their days.
This last song comes from Raj Chaos, and I do think that we recently had this game, I think. So I apologize. And you didn't get it.
I'm not going to get it this time if it's true. What system?
SNES.
Not first party, is it?
I don't think so.
License.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Here we go with this license thing again.
Claymates.
No.
Unit Racers.
No.
Stun Race FX.
No.
You don't know if it's licensed? Does this exist outside of this video game?
No. I don't. See, it's like a somebody's something.
Okay. Lee Carvello's putting challenge.
No.
Bill Lambert's Combat Basketball.
Yes.
Yeah!
Yes, finally!
Take that, Bill.
Right? We just had it, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. You're right. Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
I remember guessing it once, but I don't think it was right that time.
So
Yeah, let's go back to the Kirby.
So you guys got, you didn't get Solstice.
No.
And you didn't get Dungeons and Dragons.
Nope. Like how now the thing is we gotta relive the ones we didn't get. You can't tell us the ones we got.
Well, it's easier to do that. You didn't get Picross?
Nope.
7. So I think you got 7.
Alright, that's not bad. Alright, so let's do this one more time. Turn that garbage off. Send your questions to GoNintendoQuestions@gmail.com. If you want to send music for the music trivia section, send that to gnpodcastmusic@gmail.com.
Where?
gnpodcastmusic@gmail.com.
Oh.
If you want these email addresses from here on out, I will put them in the posts on Go Nintendo. So each week, if you go to the podcast tab, you will see the links to these email addresses. And that way, it will make it easier for you to submit. Submit 1 question and 1 song. Submit 10 questions and 10 songs. Whatever you want. Ask whatever you want. We don't care. Today's question was a great way to start things off. We had a serious question about games, and we had a stupid question about toilet paper.
That is not a
That's a serious question.
That is
People take that very seriously.
that is a great way to kick things off. So thank you to those who submitted questions so far. Well, that's some of that's on
Thank
me.
you. Sorry.
Thank you. So that's this week's show.
It's pretty good.
I give it a solid 6 out of 10. We'll see you next week. And toilet paper is under. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Over.
It's over.
This is what?
It is a beautiful day in the motherfucking neighborhood.
Whoa! Just because it's after show doesn't mean you have to drop F-bombs. Jeez.
Still agree with the sentiment.
Come on, Teach.
I gotta get it
Tell
out
it
of
to
my
the
system.
Yes.
My toilet is so clean right now.
Retro Gamer, I don't know. Hopefully you will.
Let's
Tell me dirty words.
scuzz it up.
Murasaki says there are no stupid questions about toilet paper. That is very true.
Mm.
Which way do you hold it? How do you use it?
Are you a folder or a buncher?
Can you eat it?
Can you eat it?
Are
Just
you a
think about
folder
that.
or a buncher?
Just think about that. Licking toilet paper. Isn't that nice?
You just stick right to your
Yeah.
tongue.
Melt in your mouth.
I am a folder, not a buncher.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
a
a
folder.
folder.
Folding is the right.
I feel like bunching is too wasteful.
I gotta tell you,
Yeah.
I bunch when I pee. I fold when I poop.
Okay.
We're talking about like pooping into the toilet paper and folding over it.
That's right. So we can mail it.
Poop in, fold over, smash down, flush away.
It won't go down otherwise.
Ever use tissues, says Joey. In a
I've used
pinch.
a tissue in a pinch.
In a pinch, I've used the Clorox wipe. No, I have not done that, and nobody do that.
Yeah,
I'm
don't
sure.
ever do that.
I'm sure,
Scrubby side.
I'm sure
Really
somebody's
get you
done that
clean.
by accident.
You
Like,
got
ooh,
hemorrhoids?
wet wipes.
You got
That'll
hemorrhoids?
take
Scrub
care
them
of
away.
God, that would
It really would.
It's not
The Name King Clown wants to know what the music backlog is right now.
I think it's somewhere near 100. That's 100 emails, not 100
Oh,
songs.
so it could be
Many
multiple.
emails have multiple songs.
We shouldn't have said that because people are going to be like, I don't need to send in anymore. No,
So
we're gonna
it could basically be like several months of shows.
Oh, yeah.
one show, music trivia only. Aloe Wolf says, "Ouch."
Oh, about the Clorox wipes?
Sure.
Just-
Yes.
yeah.
He just says, "Ouch." Oh yeah, there's a question. Roth says thoughts on the Death Note Netflix movie. I haven't watched it yet. I am going to, but I can tell you my Facebook has been flooded with people talking about how
Terrible it is.
how terrible it is. Yes, I don't remember who posted it, but they were like, when this movie was announced, everybody was crapping all over it, and I defended it. I said, give it a chance. It's Netflix. You don't know if it's going to be bad. This could be decent. It could work out well, blah, blah, blah. And they said, I watched it last night, and you were all right. I should have listened to you from the beginning. Yeah, I hear it's quite terrible, which is sad.
Yeah.
But, you know, it could be one of those things where, like, if you read the manga or the manga or you watch the anime, you might hate the movie, but if you are going in with a clean slate to Death Note, the Netflix movie, maybe you'd like it. I don't know. It's made for American audiences, so maybe the people who aren't familiar with Death Note at all will like the movie. I don't know. Yeah, my sister texted me about it last night, but I haven't talked to her yet. She just said, so about Death Note with ... following it. So she didn't like it, obviously, but let me see. AS says Game of Thrones finale tomorrow. That is true.
It's so ridiculous.
Tomorrow is an amazing night on TV. Sunday nights are always great nights on TV, but tomorrow night is Twin Peaks. This is the last episode before the finale, because the following week is 2 episodes that together, so that's the finale.
So way behind.
All right, so Twin Peaks, Game of Thrones, which I'm sure is going to be like an hour and a half or something.
I think it was like 80 minutes.
Oh boy. So there's Game of Thrones, the finale. There is no John Oliver, which I usually watch. There is Rick and Morty. There's the Tim and Eric 10th anniversary special tomorrow night. I know, right? 10 years of Tim and Eric. Yes, a brand new half-hour special for Tim and Eric. And
Years of their weirdness.
and I'm forgetting, there's something else. Forgetting what it is, but there's something else. I think I'm just so excited.
Kevin Can Wait.
That's what.
This-
That's what.
this season finale.
Ballers, the new episode of Ballers. I think it might. Maybe there's not something else. I'm just so excited for literally all those shows. Well, I won't say anything about Twin Peaks. I was going to start talking about it, and I was like, wait. The Name King Clown says people watch Tim and Eric. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I can at least tell you, I'm a huge fan of Tim and Eric. I have been since day one. And with that said, I know it is a very acquired taste. And then today, I found out finally Tim and Eric's Bedtime Story Season 2 is coming out September 10th. Did you watch that trailer?
No, I didn't yet.
I'm ending this podcast and we're going upstairs and watching it. It looks amazing. Oh, man. But yeah, Game of Thrones I'm excited for.
I still haven't watched last week's episode.
Of Game of Thrones. I'll be interested to see what you think of that, actually. I was talking about it last night when we were playing Splatoon.
Yeah, no spoilers.
Because we had all caught up. Yes, we won't spoil things.
Well, the internet spoiled some of it for me already. I'm used to it.
Yeah, and tonight is the Mayweather McGregor fight, which, you know,
I can't wait to be disappointed by that.
I don't care about
I don't know.
fights, but we're having people over to watch and just, you know, make fun of and not make fun of, like, look at these people, they're dumb. Just, you know, like Mystery Science Theater style, make fun of.
Let's be honest, some of them are pretty dumb.
We're the dumb ones. They're making millions of dollars.
This is true.
So yeah, it's just it's a fun weekend. There's lots of interesting things to watch. I'm behind on Rick and Morty. I have the last 2 episodes recorded. I haven't watched them yet though. Well, honestly, all I think about is Twin Peaks. Like, I'm excited for all the other shows, but I'm like, Twin Peaks, man, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. Dude Michaels was talking to me about it, and he's like, you know, it's so goddamn weird, and I don't know what's going on half the time. But every time I finish an episode, I'm like, oh, now I got to wait another week to watch another episode. He's like, you get something from that show that you don't get from anywhere else, but you don't know what it is. It's like, yeah, that sounds right. All right, guys, that's the end of this show. Thanks for joining us for the pre-show and the podcast and the after show and the questions and the music trivia. You guys are great. I greatly appreciate it. You have a fun weekend doing whatever the hell you want to do. Play some Splatoon. Watch some people fight. Eat a pizza. What else do people do?
Write a threatening letter to a celebrity.
Go outside. It's nice out.
Go outside. Well,
yeah.
At least in the
Ride your
I was going to say, depending where you are, yeah.
Not in some part of the country.
But have fun, stay safe, see some friends, hang out with family.
If you're in a flood zone, stay safe.
Stay inside.
Relax,
Sorry.
have fun. We'll catch you next week. Goodbye, everybody.